Welcome in. Welcome to our GLP-1 Real Talk Live. We are your GLP-1 Real Talk Live family, and we are here just to talk the real talk about taking GLP-1s on our weight loss journeys. All of us, each of us has a story to tell. Each of us, I've got a diverse panel of my GLP-1 family. For all intents and purposes, these are my GLP-1 families. These are the folks I'm leaning and depending on, and they are helping me because I'm new to my GLP-1 journey, taking Zepbound. And so let's get right into the conversation, and I want each of them to introduce themselves. So we'll start with Grant. Go ahead.
Good evening. I'm Grant Campbell with Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey, and I have been on Mounjaro for since January 25. I'm on 15 milligrams now due to type 2 diabetes, and I have lost 75 pounds.
Well, congratulations on the 75-pound weight loss. Way to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me introduce you to a panelist who is not new as a YouTuber because she has 2 channels on YouTube, but she is joining us as a GLP-1 user for the first time. So welcome in Mary's Life Journey.
Thank you. I am Mary, and I have been on my GLP, which is the semaglutide, 25 milligrams. I've been on it for about 3 months, about 3.5, going on 3.5 months, and I've lost 22 pounds so far.
Wonderful. Congratulations on your weight loss. And so, y'all, I am new to this, and I see Gemini Diva is joining us at this moment. I'll give her a moment to kind of reset herself, and looking great there, Gemini Diva. So let me just give my little introduction here. And y'all, the panel, we've got great panelists who will be coming in and out. We're just here to talk the real talk as GLP-1 users, consumers who have made the decision to use GLP-1s for our weight loss journey as part of our overall health and wellness program. I've been on Zepbound this is week 4 of me taking Zepbound, but I have only taken 3 injections. There's a story there, and we'll talk about it in just a moment. We want to welcome in Gemini Diva 79.
Hello. How are you guys? I'm sorry I had to switch computers.
Okay. Well, you look great to us.
Okay. All right. I had to switch computers because my desktop computer, I was sitting too low, so I had to switch to my laptop. Now it's too dark. So
you're great. You're great, friend. You're great. Go ahead. Give us your introduction. Tell us what you're taking and how long you've been on your weight loss journey using.
I am, as you know, I am Gemini Diva, aka Trina. I was on Ozempic for like 1.5 years, and then I switched to Mounjaro just January. And I've been on my weight loss journey for at least 5 years. And so far I lost maybe 50, 60 pounds. I don't keep track.
Look at these weight losses. Grant's over 70 pounds. Mary's life journey, I think I heard 20-something pounds. Gemini Diva, 50-something pounds. KendyK, y'all, I'm up to 12 pounds, almost 11.5 pounds lost. And this is week 4. I took my week 4 injection on Saturday of last week. And so I am just at the start of my week 4 journey using Zepbound for weight loss. And we have other panelists who will be joining us. As I see them come, I'll bring them up and they can introduce themselves at that time. Let's get started this way. Hasn't set in yet, because has it set in yet for you how much weight you have lost and what kind of changes are you already seeing in your life because of a 70-pound weight loss, because of a 20-pound weight loss, or a 50-pound weight loss? What you've lost the weight. Tell us something that you've gained.
It's definitely still setting in even after over a year of being on this medication. I, of course, didn't lose all 70 pounds that quickly, but by about 4 months ago, I've been at this weight, and I still, and I was saying earlier, I still feel like when somebody says, "Oh, look how great you look how skinny you look," I still a lot of times don't feel like that's true. That perception still is changing for me, and to look and see in the mirror what I see now, it's still not always in here. I still have the old,
Mhm.
and that's part of the changes you go through, is the mental as well as the physical.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And so you still kind of see yourself as the overweight person dealing with some serious, I guess, neuropathy issues, right?
Yes,
As a
yes,
result of your weight and type 2 diabetes. Y'all, if you have not checked out Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey, don't forget to connect with these great creators. Their contact information will be in the chat. Somebody has another link open that needs to be muted. So double check that if you would, please. And let me make sure it's not me. Mary, what would you share? Anything to add to that?
I can definitely relate to Grant. It's definitely a mindset change that you have to get in. Of course, I'm just down one pant size, but I feel my blood pressure is it's normalizing, it's getting normal, it's coming down. I really had to make changes because of an out of control blood pressure. So and just coming down that one pant size, my clothes feel better on me. I feel like I look a little better. I'm still not where I want to be. A couple of other things, my weight is not coming off like I would want it to, and I don't want a quick fix, but I'm also trying to navigate a life change in my eating, because I just don't want to do like a fad diet or anything like that. And just learning how to eat better, and just my portion size. So just going through a lot, learning a lot about me per se. I do keep a journal of my eating. One of the sites that I use that was given to me because I go to like a weight loss clinic. So there are things that I catalog my food is with the Fitness Pal. I have the app. So I log everything that I eat daily. I'm trying to adhere to the 1,500 calories, but just trying to make better food choices. And I also have to navigate because I am one that I retain fluid. That's a lot of reason why my blood pressure was just spiking and stuff. So I can't eat like a lot of sodium and things like that. So it's just trying to navigate a lot and be healthy and do just a lifestyle change. So yeah. So it's quite a lot.
Well, I love to hear you talking about you're seeing decreases in your blood pressure. That's the main thing for me as well, Mary. I was
Yes.
taking as
Yes.
many as 3 blood pressure pills a day. And
Yes.
I started trying to lose weight over 2 years ago because y'all 3 blood pressure pills, and I wasn't even 50 years old at that time, and it wasn't even controlled with 3 blood pressure pills. That's the scary part. But let's go on to Gemini Diva. Gemini Diva, you've been losing the weight. You've been on the journey, not just using a GLP-1, but even before that, you're starting to lose the weight, 50 something pounds to date, and still working on weight loss. What have you
Yeah.
gained?
Well, I started because I have heart failure. So I had to lose the weight. I mean, I was diagnosed with heart failure at the age of 35. I'm 46 now. So it's either my life or the weight. And I chose my life, you know. So I mean, I'm slowly losing. It's more about getting healthy and having the stamina to do it. It is not about, just losing. It's about getting more healthier for myself. I mean, I have grandkids I need to be here for. So I've gained, my blood pressure has been stabilized. My heart function is, when I started out, my heart function was at a 25. It's now at a 53. My blood sugars are fine. I'm diabetic. I have asthma. I no longer have asthma.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's a lot of factors for me to lose weight, and I was doing it naturally on my own, but I feel like I plateaued, and so I needed that extra push to get me there, and that's what the Mounjaro did. The Ozempic was more of we're gonna do the Ozempic for your diabetes. I was like, okay, I did that for a year and a half, but the second, most popular thing for Ozempic was the weight. Okay, the weight wasn't coming off. Now I'm on Mounjaro, so now that's taking precedent over my diabetes. I mean, my diabetes is fine.
Okay.
Now it's just the weight now. I can manage, my heart and my diabetes fine. It's just now it's just the weight. And I'd
And Jim,
rather be here, for years to come than say, okay, well, you got 5 years to live. No, I don't. I'm too young to die,
that's right. Yes. Yes. And Gemini Diva, you've also shared with us on previous panels that you also are a stroke survivor.
Yes. I was diagnosed with heart failure at 35, had a stroke at 37. I'm still here. Now it's just the weight. I'm just doing everything now. It's just the weight. I just gotta get that under control and I'll be good to go. I'm focusing one thing at a time.
And I think that's all of us. The weight became such a large factor in our lives. We had to finally focus on our weight. We want to welcome in all of these great humans who are commenting with us and who are here with us. Welcome in Nancy Germain. Thank you, Tiff's Take. Welcome in, friends. It's that guy, Kyle Vlog. Thank you for being here, Kyle. Someone that I know and love in these YouTube streets, Sandra James, living it. Also a survivor. She is a colorectal cancer survivor. Thank you for being here to support the GLP-1 Real Talk Live panel. Doses of Shaunie will be joining us. She is a working lady, and she also lives on the West Coast. So she's making that adjustment, and she'll be joining us because she is our spotlight on a GLP-1 user for the week. And so thank you all for being here. Let me just go ahead. We've got so many good comments already flowing right on in here. We've got someone here from Houston, Texas. Hello to you. Everything's bigger in Texas. Thank you for being here. And we've got some more wins to celebrate. Decor and More says that my GLP-1 is in my diabetic insulin, and you've been on it for a year. You've lost 30 pounds and also experiencing what feels like a plateau, a plateau. Any one of the panelists, would y'all describe, because I'm new, I hear stall and I sometimes hear the word plateau as I talk and watch on YouTube. Would one of you like to describe what that is? Plateau, what does that mean for GLP-1 users?
Stalling is basically you quit and then you can start back up again. Plateau is it doesn't matter what you do, you're still at the same thing. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can go to the gym every day, you can eat right every day. I mean, I experienced that for like 3 months. A plateau. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, you're still going to be at the same weight. For like 3 months.
Grant, Mary, do you have anything to add to that about a plateau? Just making sure. I know folks might be joining in and might just be thinking about starting to use a GLP-1, or they might be just like me in their first couple of weeks using a GLP-1. Do you have anything to share about what you know about hitting a plateau? I know, Grant, you've been on GLP-1s for a year now.
Yeah, the thing is, it just depends on where you are in your journey. Sometimes you think something's a stall when it's just really you going into the maintenance mode, which I'm getting close to. But to me, I mean, it initially feels like a stall because the last 4 months I've been about the same 224 to 227, bouncing back and forth. But, it depends on what you're doing too. If you're doing weight resistance training and a lot of gym stuff, that buildup of muscle and stuff will affect things too. So, it just depends on your where you're at in your journey. But, there are times too that, it doesn't matter what you do. You're just not going to lose it. But your body will lose it when it's time to start losing it again. That's one thing about it. You need to listen to your body, let it do what it needs to do, because there's times when I didn't think I was making any progress, but I've actually lost inches in areas without losing weight because things are just things are adjusting in your body. So it's just a journey for sure.
Yeah. We had a question, and I'm going to put up Decor and More 3120. Thank you for chiming in. Seeing lots of comments and things flowing from you, Decor and More 3120. Neuropathy is worse than diabetes itself. Grant, I'm going to throw that one back to you a little bit and share just a little bit of your story about that neuropathy in your foot.
Yes, it's a challenge. I mean, when basically with diabetes, neuropathy occurs when your nerve endings are dying, essentially.
Right.
And usually in your extremities, your feet or your hands. And in my case, my feet's always been worse. I mean, I have tingling in my hands even now at times. but my feet's been worse over the years. And thankfully, as I've lost weight and been on this GLP longer, the neuropathy in my feet has improved. It's never went away completely, and I don't know if it ever will. Um, but I see what they're saying. That side effect of diabetes is one of the worst. And I mean, not being able to feel, like, even when you're in bed, you don't feel the bed sheets at all. You just don't even realize your feet are uncovered sometimes. You don't even realize your feet are cold. I mean, it's odd. Um, and so I've ended up with special shoes to help with that, and such, that to where I can still feel when I'm driving and stuff like that, enough to do that. Um, and of course, in my very short story here of a long one, I ended up with a wound on my foot and didn't even know it was there. And it ended up infected, and thankfully has now healed up with my improved A1C and all, much mainly due to Mounjaro.
Mhm. Mhm. Looks like Gemini Diva, Trina, you were going to say something else about the neuropathy.
No, I mean, I completely agree with Grant here. It's, I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, my hands and my feet, if I sit too long, they'll go numb. If my hands are in one spot too long, it goes numb. I mean, there's nothing you can do but try to get that feeling back in. So I completely agree with Grant.
Okay. Okay. Well, we want to welcome in. Thank you both for adding to that and getting some questions. Thank you for the questions rolling in from the chat. I'm going to start addressing additional questions, but first we want to welcome in Doses of Shaunie. Shaunie, would you say hello to our viewers tonight?
Well, hello. I had to come off of mute. Hi, everyone. You want me to go ahead and introduce myself?
Yeah. Go ahead and give us your quick introduction, then we'll be back for your spotlight.
Okay, so my name is Shaunie, Doses of Shaunie. I am on Zepbound. I've been on Zepbound from, I think it was exactly May 28th was when I took my first shot. And since May of 28th, I think I've lost 93 point something pounds. So that's a quick little introduction.
Congratulations on your 93-pound weight loss. Wow. That's life-changing weight for so many on the panel. Life is different now and in a smaller body. Somebody's got another tab probably open. Make sure that you should only have the one open through StreamYard. If you're looking or watching on another device, panelists, just make sure that those other devices are muted. Thank you so much. We've got questions to address. Thank you, Jackie D. McKeever. How did you get on the GLP-1? And did you have it covered on insurance? Mary, would you describe a little bit about yours? Because it sounds like yours might be different. And I was not able to use insurance to cover my Zepbound journey that I just started. Mary, do you want to take that one first? And we're offering different perspectives. This is real talk from real users.
Sure. Yes. Yes, I was unable to get my insurance to cover mine. So I go through a weight loss clinic. So I have to pay out of pocket. I pay for a monthly visit, plus I pay for the shots, which I get it a month supply at a time. It's kind of expensive, but I feel that it's worth it to get me where I need to be more healthy. So yeah, I went back and forth with my insurance and I was unable to get it covered. Mm-hmm.
So I am nodding my head deeply because I am just like Mary. I'm working full time, and you know, it's just the luck of the insurance plans, and you know, what
Yeah.
you know, mine's is Blue
Yeah.
Cross Blue Shield, but you got to be in the right plan for it to cover it. And we tried to backdoor it and use my sleep apnea as a medical exception for that, because actually Zepbound can be used if you do suffer from sleep apnea. But turns out, y'all, I kind of failed the sleep apnea test. I only had mild sleep apnea, and I needed moderate. And I still can't believe it.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow. So if you are having trouble for insurance paying, Zepbound has a known, it can be used to resolve sleep apnea. So that is a workaround for those who might have trouble getting insurance to pay. Now, I am able to, so we're going through a medical appeal for a medical exception, but it's not likely they're going to do that. And I didn't want to delay the journey anymore. Like Mary, I just said, you know what? This is my health. I need to take drastic measures, and
Right.
the money I spend on my Zepbound monthly, I blow off that money. You know, so it's kind of just, it's out of my,
Mhm.
fun money budget, and I don't need another thing, right? I don't need another thing. I have a house full of things. What I need is better health. And so someone else, so I am able to use my FSA funds though, and I can get reimbursed for those costs. But straight from my insurance covering my GLP-1, my Zepbound, it just didn't happen like that for me. It wasn't easy for me. Anyone else who is using insurance, talk about that insurance path, or share what maybe what your copay, your deductible is for your medications per month. That might help someone.
Well,
Okay, go ahead.
oh, well, me, in the eyes of the government, I have total disability. So I am covered under insurance for weight loss treatments. It doesn't matter if it's a pill form, injections. I mean, I'm covered. And with my weight loss, um, I can do at least three, three. I think it's 3 a week for a dietitian. So I have a dietitian. I have uh, the Mounjaro. At first, they didn't think that it was covered, but since I'm diabetic, also it's covered under that. I mean, it just depends on what insurance you have.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It just depends. And I want to go to Doses of Shaunie right now, because Doses of
And
Shaunie,
I
y'all.
will. Okay.
Doses of Shaunie is a hot commodity in these YouTube streets tonight, y'all. She has, she's pulling double duty tonight, and she's got a great interview with someone that we all know and love. And so we want to give her time to get over there to her next interview. And but so she is our spotlight for today. So let's talk about this 90 plus pound weight loss. Remind us again, you're on Zepbound, and so that gives me Zepbound goals to hear that you have lost that much weight. How long, Shaunie, did it take you to lose over 90 pounds?
It's been short of, I think I'm on week 42. So I just started counting the weeks because I wasn't big, but because, now I'm a content creator, because when I first started on YouTube, I was not. I was just watching everyone. And then a few people were like, you should be a content creator. So anyway, I wasn't counting the weeks, but I think I'm at 42 weeks, which is I'm short of like 10 months. because I started May 28th.
That is amazing
I know
weight loss,
yeah,
Shaunie.
May 28th, it was a Wednesday night because it took me 2 hours to decide to actually give the shot.
Shaunie, that was me on shot one. I had my cousin who is a nurse on the phone walking me through step by step from washing my hands to, wiping my body with the alcohol wipe, all of it, all of it. It was, I was so, and that's why I did weight loss and focused on Zepbound, because that was kind of my worst fear, is that I did not want type 2 diabetes like my father, having to do insulin shots and all of that. Doses of Shaunie, what would you tell someone who is on the fence about starting to use GLP-1s for weight loss? Like if they're not sure they want to do it.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure for about 2 years. And, I am a nurse. I'm a registered nurse, as many of you know. And because, being a nurse, I know how the medication works. And I think for anyone, let me just get to answer your question. Anyone that's on the fence, I would say it's not for everybody, right? It may not be for you. And so I think, people have to weigh. A lot of people are on the fence because, in my opinion, and what I hear from at least the people that I encounter, I can only speak from experience, is because they're afraid of the side effects. And they are afraid of side effects, which weight loss is a side effect of the medication. And they're afraid of the adverse reactions. So those are two different things. So people say, oh, you could get cancer. That's an adverse reaction. That's not a side effect. A side effect is weight loss. A side effect is delayed gastric emptying, right? Side effect could be acid reflux, which comes from the delayed gastric emptying. A side effect is fatigue, could be nausea, but could be nausea. But a lot of those things, what I really like to tell people is, a lot of those what we call side effects, and they put them down as side effects because studies have shown a lot of people have these side effects. But what they don't tell you is many of them can be avoided if you just do the things, all the things.
Like what? What does that mean, Shaunie?
All the things, maybe it could be making sure that you're getting all your macros, right? Getting your protein, making sure you're moving. Studies have shown that people that walk a lot, that do a lot of movement, have less gastric side effects. So, just, not eating when you're, not forcing yourself to eat. I don't know. There's some back. I don't know. Is that?
Yeah, I'm muting everybody.
Okay. So, I noticed I was having a lot of. I had started having a lot of some gastric stuff. I didn't have any gastric issues up until 7.5 dose. So I'll tell you that I'm on 7.5 now. I started, of course, 2.5. If you're not familiar with the medication, we start at 2.5 if you're on tirzepatide.
I'm on 2.5. Just started my week 4.
So you start on 2.5, and I was there for 3 months, and then and each month I lose 10 pounds. This month, I don't know if I'm gonna lose 10 pounds because it's going a little bit slower, but it's okay, right? But yeah. I've lost, 8 to 12, maybe a month, but some months maybe it was 12, but consistently, that's how I've gotten to, in 9.5 months, losing 93 pounds. So when I went up to the 7.5, it was a little stronger. So I had more delayed gastric emptying, right? And
Mhm.
so I couldn't eat as much. So it's not necessarily that the medication caused me to have the severe acid reflux. I've had some chest pain that was it was from the acid reflux, but it wasn't the medication. It was because I was forcing myself to eat.
Mm.
Right. So I don't believe, and like I said, I'm just speaking from my experience. I am a healthcare professional. However, I'm not your healthcare professional.
Yes.
Um,
And
so,
let me just say this disclaimer. We are not medical professionals. We are just simply relaying to everyone our health journeys. So please consult your doctor, talk to your doctor, and make sure that you are making informed decisions with the help of your own medical provider. We are not medical providers. Go ahead, Shaunie.
okay. So it was because I was forcing myself to eat more because I'm a macros girl. So that's what's been working for me. I'm a creature of habit. I'm going to make sure I get in 100 to 140 grams of protein a day. And when I noticed that I was not able to do that when I got to the 7.5, I just, was like, let me just make myself eat.
Mhm.
And so, but instead of, and it's okay, I could make myself eat a little bit, but I needed to spread it out more, like little bits every hour. So the point I'm making is not all, right, but a lot of the side effects for many can be avoided, even with the fatigue. You may get some fatigue, but I know I get more fatigued when I'm not eating enough, and even if I can't eat, because I try to say, I'm really a whole foods girl. I
Mhm.
pride myself on wanting to get my stuff through Whole Foods, but maybe for the first 2 weeks when you went up on that dose, you can't do that. Drink some protein shakes, Shaunie. It's okay. Right? You got to do what you have to do. And so I was still just trying to eat. But yeah, so I think I would just tell people that you may not have all the side effects. Just give it a try. If it's the side effects that's stopping you from doing it. If it's the adverse reactions, I don't want to get cancer. I had to talk. I educate people every day. That's what I do as a nurse. I'm an educator. So I educate people on healthcare, on chronic illnesses. I was listening to Gemini Diva when she said her numbers went from 25 to 53. I'm praising God with you because that is amazing. Most people can't reverse that ejection fraction. So, and that's, what it is that measures how good our heart is working. And so the adverse reactions like cancer, you can get cancer. I tell people every time you take a Tylenol, you're taking a risk for getting cancer, for just our
Okay.
liver failure. Sorry, let me take that
Yeah.
back. Liver failure. Every time you take a Motrin, you're putting yourself at risk. Every time you take an aspirin, you're taking a risk of a GI bleed. So everything has risk. Everything has side effects, but adverse reactions are usually, I could throw out some numbers, but I don't know for sure. But just say like 1 in a million.
Yeah.
You, you
Okay.
know, and so just weigh the. I had to weigh the benefits of the medicine versus the risk that I was taking for having some of these side effects. I can deal with some fatigue, because now I'm not putting so much pressure on my heart when I'm sleeping because I have sleep apnea. I
Mhm.
can deal with a little fatigue. Even if I don't have the GI stuff like some people, I could deal with some nausea and take some Zofran, to be able to have added years to my life. I remember the doctor telling me, he said, every year you keep saying no, because first it was they wanted me to have a gastric sleeve. Well, first gastric bypass because I have had gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD. And so years ago, it wasn't recommended that you get the sleeve. It was recommended that you get the bypass. I didn't want the bypass. So they put me through all kind of tests, said, okay, you can have the sleeve. Everything worked out. So I went through all of that, but then I still backed out and said no. So they basically said every year that I'm saying no, I'm taking away 10 years of my life.
Wow. Now that's a reality check, right?
And until, I'll say this, and until I started feeling like it was, I didn't really care what they said, even as me being a nurse. Because, they say nurses make the worst patients, but we really don't. But it didn't really matter until when I would even still use my CPAP and I still didn't feel good the next day.
Mm. Are you still using your CPAP now after 90 plus pounds lost?
Yes. And that a lot of people don't understand. That's why you have to do a little research. And I do have a little upper hand because I am a registered nurse and have been one for well over 20 years. I know I don't look that old, but I am. And
you look fabulous. You look fabulous.
Praise God. But I had sleep apnea prior to being that heavy. So just because you lose weight, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have a diagnosis of sleep apnea. If you got it because you were too big, then maybe, but it doesn't, for most, it doesn't take it away. And that's why I educate people on that. Like they'll just stop because they know they've lost weight. No, you need to go get another sleep study. You need to go get another sleep study because you do feel better. Like I feel better most nights, if I forget, yes, the nurse forgets her CPAP sometimes because maybe I'm so tired, or day 1 and 2 of the shot, you know how you just like exhausted sometimes, and I'm just watching TV or I'm up charting. I'm a home health nurse case manager, so I'm charting at home, and I'll wake up and I didn't have my CPAP on, and I'll feel fine and go about my day. But I just had another consultation with my pulmonologist, and if you have sleep apnea, it's connected, has a chip in it. It goes right to his office, so he can see the numbers. And he's like, "It looks great. It's like half the amount of I forget what it is, the number, but you still need it."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell us, and we're going to wrap this up because we know you've got another interview coming up real quick here. But what do you eat in a day on 7.5? Is it micrograms or micrograms of Zepbound to lose 90 plus pounds?
So today I ate something a little different, but I'm usually a creature of habit. But I'll just tell you what I ate today. What did I eat? So a lot of times I don't do breakfast for breakfast. So breakfast foods. So I usually will eat something hot. I usually will eat my heaviest meal for breakfast. So I usually will make a breakfast sandwich. We want to talk about what I ate today. So breakfast sandwich, meaning, and it doesn't have to be like bacon and eggs. I'll put chicken breast on it. Mm-hmm. So I do my keto bread with some mayonnaise. Yes, I will still use some mayonnaise, but I measure it out. So I make, and I was doing 1 tablespoon, but I wanted to start decreasing the fat a little bit more. And so now I'm doing 1/2 tablespoon, and it works. I was just used to doing that serving size because you're just used to doing that, right? So, but I realized if you're on the medication, your taste buds change anyway. It's not like I really have to have it. So I just really need it because I don't want it so dry. And so I do 1/2 tablespoon, and I put mayonnaise. I put my chicken breast on there, and if I'm feeling a little spicy, sometimes I'll add a little barbecue sauce. If I'm maybe 4 days or 5 days or 5 or 6 days into the shot and I got a little bit more appetite, I may add a little barbecue sauce. I'll eat some cottage cheese and peaches as a snack. I usually eat one Built bar at least 5 days a week. I'm obsessed with them. That's like the only thing I'm obsessed with. A Built bar is a protein bar, and it's really yummy, you guys. You might want to try it. What else?
So I hear you combining both. What did you use the word? You called it real food? Because I remember you dropped in my chat. You said KendyK, whole food, but you said if it was just your shot day, it's okay. Get some protein in and drink a protein shake, or you just mentioned a protein bar if you need to.
Yeah, if you need to. I would, yeah. So today I did have a protein shake as well. So I'm pretty much at between 1,100 to 1,400 calories a day. Shot day, 800 to 11.
Okay. Well, Shaunie, we want to thank you for giving us the insight. And I think this was a really helpful spotlight segment because we're hearing from you, from someone who is an RN. You're not our RN, but you do health education as part of your full-time duties. And so you do understand this science behind GLP-1s and how that works and how obesity affects all of our body systems, not just the numbers, the weight part of it. It's all of the comorbidities as well. Y'all, after this panel, most of us are probably going to join you, Shaunie, you and Paul. Do I have his name right, y'all? Y'all have to help me out. Yeah. And the name of the channel that you're going to be on with that interview. Share that with us, Shaunie.
I'm tongue-tied. Amadeus. Did I say it right?
Paul Amadeus.
Paul Amadeus, like the song line. Yeah.
Okay. Rock me, Amadeus. That.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh, rock me, Amadeus. Ooh, rock me, Amadeus. Y'all, let's send Shaunie off with some happy fingers. And thank you for being here with us, Doses of Shaunie. She'll be back with us next week, but she needs to just kind of refresh herself. What were you sipping on, Shaunie? We're going to do a hydration check. What were you sipping on your way out? And I'm bringing more folks up to the panel, so y'all drop in so we can bring everybody up.
My flavored water.
Flavor with what, Shaunie?
I'm part of a company called Melaleuca. And so I don't know if anybody's heard of Melaleuca, but I order their H2O packets. I've been on these for years. I don't like juice. Even prior to this, I've never been a soda drinker or juice drinker for some reason. But yeah, these little packages.
So Shaunie, drop me a link to that if you have a link or something, and I'll make sure that we have it in the description in case someone wants to use your link to check that out. Okay. All right. We've got to introduce JC Calamity Jane, who has joined us on the stage, and anybody else that wants to come up to panel, use the link and I'll bring you up. JC, can you hear us okay? She is doing double duty tonight as well. Y'all, we've got a big panel. Go ahead, JC.
No, I can hear you. Yep.
Welcome in.
Hello. Do you want me to just do basic intro or what?
Yeah. Go ahead and do your basic intro. We've got questions. I want to do the questions coming in from the chat.
So JC_Calamity_Jane. I've been on Zepbound primarily only since July 16th, 2025. I'm currently on 7.5. I've been on 7.5 milligrams dosage since about December 10th. I am in my 30, I'm trying to remember the short that I did today. I want to say I'm in my 37th week of this. I won't weigh in again until Wednesday. I weigh in twice a week. My official weigh-in day is Wednesday, which is also my shot day. And then I weigh in on Saturday as like a self-check. Just where am I at midweek, right? So yeah, that's my my Zepbound journey has been pretty straightforward. And I have thoughts on why, but I'm not a doctor, and nor am I a resource scientist. But yeah, that's kind of the. Oh, I guess you want total. As of last week, I always have to go back. You would think these are things that we set in stone, right?
I love to see you looking at your notes, because I've always wondered how y'all keep all of these. How many?
Oh, I have a whole spreadsheet. I'm happy to share the spreadsheet too.
I need to make my own spreadsheet. Thank you for
that. There's the Shaunie app, but I add stuff to my spreadsheet that I like to see, like the numbers that are important to me on a weight loss journey. Because the scale is not my most important number.
Tell us what other numbers are important to you.
Mine is So I've lost 85.4 pounds since July. Wow. And that's as of last Wednesday. You'll have to stay tuned to this Wednesday to see what it looks like today, or what it looks like week 37. So the numbers that I primarily focus on, and Grant was kind of alluding to this, not only in his live, but he kind of spoke on it today, and y'all have kind of all spoken around this. I look at the percentage loss. I base my milestone goals based on 5% goals. So like when I was at 288, 5% of that was 274, 5% of that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so why 5%? So medical literature and doctors will tell you 5% weight loss equals health measurements like lowering blood pressure, lowering cholesterol meds, things like that. Why I also like looking at percentages is because we don't get caught up in a timeline, and we don't get caught up in, because I lost X amount of pounds, last month, I want to lose that. So I don't like my personal path is not focusing on, I need to lose X amount by X date. My next goal is 5%, however long that takes. And as long as I'm focused on 5%, because none of us know, and I hate these words. I don't want to use the word hate. I dislike these words that we give to the word responder, the modifiers to the word slow or fast responder, because at the end of the day, your body is just responding. We don't know what our bodies respond to. We're a giant chemistry set, right? And we're not only are we not a giant chemistry set, we're built of DNA. So anytime we introduce medicine to our bodies, how my DNA receives that medicine and how your KendyK receives that medicine is going to be based on our DNA. Yeah. And so to define ourselves by slow and fast, I think we get ourselves into traps, and we just need to say we're either responding or we're not, in whatever way that looks like, right? So that's why I like also percentages, because 5% at 288 doesn't look like 5% at 203. It's two completely different numbers, except it's still 5%. Okay. And I can celebrate that.
And we celebrate with you with over 80 pounds lost. Congratulations on your way down. Pun intended. Friends, let's do a quick hydration check. This is going to be a rapid fire around the room. Tell us what you're sipping on. Finishing up my 30-gram protein shake and piggybacking water. Mary, what are you sipping on, Mary? Unmute.
Mute.
I'm unmuting everybody.
Testing,
Go ahead.
testing.
I think you muted yourself back. Go ahead, Mary.
Can you hear me now? I'm sipping on ice water with my crushed.
Okay, ice water and something else. I think maybe a protein shake with it. Gemini Diva.
Am I unmuted now?
Yeah, tell us again. Ice water and what else?
Ice water with crushed ice. I am just a fanatic for crushed ice.
Okay. Do you have your own crushed ice machine at home?
No, I have to go to Sonic's to get the crushed ice.
Okay. They sell it by the bag. How do I
If
know
someone wants to send me a crushed ice machine, I would love it.
that? Trina, what are
Yes,
you sipping on?
I am sipping on. Um, I get it from Walmart. The pack is peach mango green tea and lemonade.
Oh, it's a little mixture. Give you a little flavor
Yes,
to your water.
yes.
Love
I
that.
hate the taste of
Sounds
plain
good.
water. So
Yeah. Grant, what are you sipping on?
Well, this is an actual Chick-fil-A cup, not a styrofoam one, and I like this because it
Chick-fil-A.
tells me I got 24 ounces each time. But I'm doing room temperature water with a sugar-free grape packet from Walmart.
Okay, I get those great value electrolyte packets.
Yeah,
So that is
those are
something
good.
that my doctor and dietitian asked me. My doctor actually put it into my chart after my visit, reminding me to do electrolytes in all of my water. So I have just been using the great value brands. And apparently there's one flavor I haven't been able to try because they're always out of it. So it must be really delicious. But the one I drink, it's okay. It just gives it a little flavor. And Grant, you said you made a point of mentioning that you are having room temperature water. Tell us why.
Well, Harджreen and Jen taught me that room temperature is easier to drink, and what else was it? Does it absorb quicker? Is that the other?
I just do room temperature water.
Okay.
I don't. If you don't know me by now, I don't put a lot of fuss into this journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was recommended because ice water is harder to drink sometimes to get down because you want to get enough down in a day. So
Yeah.
that room temperature had to get more down.
Right. But if ice water is what works for you, drink ice water. And that's the thing.
Exactly.
There could be reasons to think, but at the end of the day, drink water.
Yeah, everybody has your own preferences, your own perspectives. So, do what works for you. And that's why we're bringing together these diverse experiences so that everyone can kind of share what is working for them or not working for them. If they have some questions, just hear what different perspectives might come up. And so with that being said, we're going straight to the comments for questions. And here is one that's been here for a moment. Decor and More. Aren't there some lawsuits associated with Ozempic and Mounjaro? Does anybody have knowledge of that? Does anybody have knowledge?
I haven't seen it.
Anyone on the channel?
I think that's probably a conversation. I'll share what I know, but I would say I would hold real information for later and good old fashioned Google. We can send you some links, KendyK. But there have been lawsuits associated with what happened last year with Novo Nordisk. Assuming this is what she's talking about, so we need context to where the question may be coming from. But there's lawsuits around because last year Novo Nordisk, they got into a deal. So there's pharmaceutical benefits managers. So pharmaceutical benefits managers are the ones who coordinate along with insurance companies how, what drugs are going to be covered under insurances formularies. Formularies can change every quarter. They can change even sooner than that. So last July, anybody that had CVS Pharmacy as a pharmaceutical benefits manager may or may not have received a letter talking about how they would no longer be coverage for Zepbound for weight loss because CVS Pharmaceutical Benefits Manager got into basically a contract with Novo Nordisk to sell Wegovy. So of course, patients.
Wow.
I think even the state of Texas has a lawsuit for that company in and of itself. So assuming that's the lawsuit, but there could be thousands of lawsuits going on. So what I would say for a question off the top like that, let's gather some resources and share after.
Yeah. Just wanted to see if anybody on the panel was aware of that. But sounds like good old politics. It always is the root of most things happening in our country at this moment. Something to do with the politics of it all. We want to shout out to the low carb queen. She is right there in the chat supporting us all along the way. And thank you for being you in these YouTube streets, the low carb queen. And y'all, everyone that's coming here, if you have questions, would you drop them for me one more time? I see Mama 3 coming on in here. Vicky's World also is one of our weekly panelists as well. And I think it was doing scouts with her boys this evening. And so absolutely taking time for family. That's always important. And she says that she likes the idea of looking at the percentage of weight loss versus the actual pounds in numbers. I do think that that's a great way to rethink how we're doing that. Cookie says that she prefers room temperature water too, because you can drink more. If I drink ice cold water, I've got a few ice cubes in my water here, but this will be here till this time, tomorrow. And I prefer room temp water. It goes down easier because ice cold water actually gives me a belly ache. I don't know about anybody else. That's why I prefer room temp water.
I don't know. I just had oral surgery, so ice water, it hurts right now.
Bless your heart, Trina. Oral surgery. I just got to move on because I have terrible dental anxiety. Sandra James, Living It, is recommending Ultima as for electrolytes, no taste, multiple flavors, and 36 packets per purchase. Yeah, because those little packets that Grant and I are getting, you only get like 6 or 8 in a box. Grant, do you know?
6 or 8 in a box. What? I'm sorry, I didn't catch
your little flavor packets. You said you had the little grape packet or something.
Yeah, I only get about 6 in a box. Yeah, it's not that many.
Yeah. So that might be something to investigate as well. We've got more folks. Yeah. Mounjaro Journey with Pam saying beauty supplements. Okay. They've got collagen greens. Y'all are sharing lots of great resources. Let me pose another question to the group and give an opportunity. Y'all, if you do have a question, and if I missed it, because I've tried to go down through twice, but y'all, KendyK has 50-year-old eyes working on now, right? And I've already done a full day of work. So send those questions through again, and I will pull them up. Strawberry lemonade. Yes, I think that's the flavor that is always missing at Walmart. Ice cold water hurts your teeth. Yep, that's as well. Okay, let's be real. What are you all actually eating? Let's talk about real food versus having to, get our protein this way. What real food have you eaten? Did you eat today?
Well, I posted today everything that I made a community post of breakfast, which was I do a protein shake, the Core Power protein, but then I did grapes and Cara orange. So I'm not afraid of fruit. I can, fruit's not bad, but be mindful if you do have type 2 diabetes or type 1. Just be mindful of those carbs if you need to. And then and I did a short of my lunch. Lunch was a chicken thigh that we baked in the oven. And then we did carrots and broccoli, seasoned carrots and broccoli with that. And then dinner is currently sitting on the counter. I'll eat it afterwards, but it was the Tony Chachere's dirty rice. And instead of ground beef, ground turkey, I did some ground bratwurst and I added some diced tomatoes. I know some of y'all may be turning like, oh my gosh, you're eating bratwurst. I'm like, yeah, I'm eating bratwurst. And but I'm just not eating, I'm not eating a giant plate of it. Right.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the real food I eat. Oh, and then we added spinach to it. Yep.
Love the green. My mama always said, she always made sure we had something green on our plate for dinner. Was anybody else, mom, like that? Drop that in the chat. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Who wants to pick up next? Go ahead, Trina. What did you eat? Real food, not processed food. What did you eat? Real
Real
food.
food.
Okay.
I had a big old thin, with I don't like peanut butter, so I get the cookie butter.
Okay.
I had that for breakfast. For lunch, I didn't eat nothing. I'm always not eating lunch. But for dinner, I had a taco salad, but instead of ground beef, I did ground chicken with lettuce, tomatoes, a little sour cream, a little salsa, and some. I think that was it, because I had no Doritos.
I like the ground chicken as a lighter side to the protein. I love
Yeah, my son doesn't eat ground beef, so
Okay.
I switched over to ground turkey or ground chicken. And I don't like ground turkey as much, so we settled on ground chicken.
Okay. Grant, you're up. What did you eat whole food today?
I really didn't eat much through the day. I'll be honest. It was a shot day, and I just wasn't that hungry. But for dinner before this, I did have some fish, and I kind of go back and forth each day between fish and chicken to get that, and especially the chicken, get my protein in other than a shake. But
Somebody's got something in the
I,
background. I'm sorry
yeah,
to interrupt.
I'm sorry, it's my daughter. I can't
Oh,
help
okay.
that.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I've been muting in between trying to help that. But in any case, and I'm with Shaunie. Those Built Bars, just a side note, are wonderful. I love those Built
Ooh,
Bars.
so you vouching for the Built Bars. Okay. Okay. We're heading over to Mary's life journey. Mary, what whole food did you eat today?
For breakfast, I just had a protein shake for breakfast because I have to be to work at 5 a.m. So I'm really just not hungry at that time. It's too early. Um, my lunch break is normally like a normal time for when people eat breakfast. Lunch, I take my lunch to work. I had baked chicken with brown rice. I boil the chicken in the brown rice. I season it real good. And for dinner tonight, I had a lean beef patty with vegetable medley. And what did I have to drink? I had Crystal Light to drink. That's what I had for dinner. So I've had dinner already because I would never eat this late.
I love that
yeah.
you had so much food prepared, kind of meal prepping that thing. You've got a routine going. I heard that from what you said.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that, Mary. And then something I did, Jen, I did see your short. I did see your short with all of your food, your meal prep for the week. And y'all, I chicken is fine for me, and chicken and seafood. But when it comes to chicken, I do not prefer the breast. I love that thigh. I love boneless skinless chicken thighs. I don't want the skin on the thigh because I don't like touching meat like that. So I buy trays of boneless skinless chicken thigh. For me, it's that thigh, that thigh, that thigh. It's just so much more flavor in that thigh. I'm just saying. Okay. Now, friends, let's do one more question. Do we have time
And
for
I
one
love
more?
white meat. I
You
love a
do you,
breast.
Mary? How do you keep it juicy? How do you keep
I
your
do, yes.
breast juicy?
Stir fry is like my go-to. I buy the breast chicken strips, the tenderloins, and I just stir fry. I do it with all kind of vegetables and stuff. One thing that I did stop doing that I was advised by my nutritionist, because y'all know I love juicing. I love juicing, but she says that it keeps up your cravings. A lot of because it's so much natural sugar. So I try and stay away from like the melons and things like that. Lemon is fine, stuff like that. So I really had to cut down on like my juicing. So yeah. So I'm still trying to perfect my cutback and doing things in moderation, but I was lemon juicing, but it's just a lot of natural sugars there in it, it just wakes up that crave. So I don't know if y'all ever noticed that.
Juicing is a different process than eating the actual fruit because the way it breaks down. And so that's like, even when people were on Weight Watchers and they did smoothies or juicing, juicing and smoothies would be more points than just eating an apple or eating a grapefruit, because once you break down so the fiber is in the skin. So net carbs. So this is very important. Net carbs. Net carbs are carbohydrates minus fiber minus sugar alcohols. So when you remove the fiber, you no longer have anything subtracting from the carbs. So when you break it down into juicing or into a smoothie, when you remove the skin, you remove the fiber, and then so that's going to increase the carb amount of your, and then once it's broken down into a liquid form, how it enters your bloodstream and your cells, it's not going through that process of getting broken down in order for the carbs to, basically the carbs can hit your blood glucose faster than when it's in the whole form. So that's why it's a different process that your body receives the macros in. So yeah. So that's why it's different.
So we had a question about where to get the Built Bars, and our good friend in these YouTube streets, Vicky's World, chimed in that the Built Bars, you can get them online from Walmart.com. So check if you want to check out those Built Bars. And then, friends, to the panel, protein or which would you rather? Which are you struggling more with? Getting protein in for the day or remembering to eat at all? This is a rapid fire, so just give me your, one sentence answer. Who wants to start? Jump right in.
Protein.
Eating it all.
Eating it all for me.
Protein for me.
Pretty much eating it all. Yeah, eating it all.
Neither. I mean, because yeah, I get both in because I prioritize protein in my meal. So if I'm eating, I'm getting my protein.
Okay.
There's not because what else? If I'm eating, what else would I be eating? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. That resonated loudly for me. Mary, so you have all this that you're taking to work with you when you start work at 5 a.m, but you're saying that you're struggling at times to even get that in at all. Can you speak to that for us?
Yeah, I think like when I first started, which it's only been a couple of months, my cravings I'm an emotional eater. I was just all of that. So when I started, it just turned off the food noise. So, I mean, it took my appetite. So, and I had like some nausea because I wasn't eating and stuff. And my biggest struggle is just learning, what to eat. I mean, I really want to be healthy. And then when you have to factor in, other health issues like my retaining fluid, my blood pressure, sodium, and stuff like that, I am just really learning, how to eat healthy. And that's my biggest struggle. That's why I have to journal and put in, what I'm eating and stuff. Because I don't know how and stuff. I think that's where the weight gain came from. Just eating everything, just, didn't realize what I was eating, how much I was eating, just, having to look at my portion size and, things like that. So it's been a great change for me. It's been a really great change. Mm-hmm.
Mary, I'm kind of like you in many respects. And so I really don't know what to eat, or I'm trying to learn how to make better eating choices. So even prior to me starting my
Right.
Zepbound journey, and I'm on week 4, I was working with a dietitian for over a year because I did not know how to eat. I thought, when you make a meatloaf, it has to be a beef meatloaf or beef and pork mixture meatloaf, right? And didn't know that. Why don't you just make it with turkey, right? Or Gemini Diva, we have conversations. She does a lot of her foods now with ground chicken and just the options that are out there. I work with a dietitian. That is part of
Right.
my weight loss journey at this moment using Zepbound. A dietitian is part of my medical team. Anybody else working with a dietitian? That might be something, because the dietitian,
Yeah.
my insurance will pay for my work with a dietitian. So I'm utilizing all of those things. Y'all, how are we getting in our fiber? How are we getting in our
Yeah.
fiber? I'm eating apples with the peel dipped in Greek yogurt, so it feels like a treat or a snack.
I
Yeah.
I was eating fruits, but now since I got teeth removed, I'm on soft food, so my fiber goes right into my water.
Yeah, bless your heart. You be careful with that dental work. Bless you. Bless you. Prayers going out to Gemini Diva. Anybody else? Oh, how are we getting in fiber? What are your go-tos for infusion of fiber into your weekly meal planning? Anybody?
So if I'm doing smoothies and stuff, it's going to be chia seeds, flaxseed. There's hemp seed, and then prioritizing berries, so raspberries, blackberries, things like that. Blueberries, but blueberries, of all of them, blueberries has the least fiber, but so those bundles that are the mixed berries, getting those in. Then after that, it's going to be just fiber that you receive from your whole foods and fruit and stuff like that. So that's how I typically get fiber in. So
Grant, have you had any fiber? What are your fiber go-tos that you and Christy have?
I'll be honest, I do mostly supplements to get my fiber each day. So my Metamucil and Grooms gummies.
Miralax became my friend. I had work travel week last week, and so I even had the Miralax. This is the Great Value brand in the small size too, and I just sprinkle it like it is salt, because I don't sprinkle table salt at all. And whole foods are really good. Cabbage, thank goodness, I always love cabbage. And so cabbage is usually a part of every grocery shop for me. And yeah, I got a whole playlist on it. All the ways that KendyK fixes cabbage, and they're all yummy to me. So great source of fiber. And if nothing else, y'all just make it into some coleslaw. It'll help. Anyone else have any other fiber go-tos? Do I have anything else for fiber up here? What do y'all do? I got Quest protein bars. So we're talking, sometimes you got to use some processed foods like a protein shake. And Shaunie talked about using them on her dose day, because that's when it's hardest to, when you feel, what do you call it? Y'all tell me what word that is when you don't really have an appetite. What is that called? Don't have an appetite? Is that what it's called?
Well, I mean, these medications, that's what they're doing. They're suppressing appetite. So one of the things we've got to think about, so again, I always point to my spouse because his natural GLPs work, right? And so this idea of I wait to eat because I'm hungry, that's that's kind of a misnomer. We shouldn't be waiting to be hungry, just like we shouldn't be waiting to be thirsty to drink water, right? And
Right.
so what it becomes is that because it's suppressing appetite, you have to just kind of create a schedule for yourself to eat. whether that's small meals, whether you're an OMAD, meaning 1 meal a day or 2 meal a day type of person. I do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it is pretty much on schedule. So 12 o'clock, I'm eating lunch. 6:30, I'm eating dinner. Right. So it's not and I'm eating what I'm able to eat. Now, if it takes an hour to eat that, then it takes an hour, right? If it takes 30 minutes, it takes 30 minutes. But the medications are doing the thing of suppressing appetite. So that's where we got to change our brains to get something, focus on those macros, whether again, the protein, whether it's a protein drink or a bar, we got to shift our brain because it will show up. Not eating will show up somewhere. And that will either be the hair loss, the muscle loss, and the body not losing weight. Because a body that's not eating will retain weight.
It's going to hold on to to what it has. It's going to hold on to the fat, the nutrients, trying to keep the body working because you're not feeding it. Good point there, Jen. What advice? So this will probably be our last question. And if you do have any questions coming in through the comments, go ahead and add them now, friends. But what's one piece of advice that you would give someone who might be starting the GLP-1 weight loss journey this week? What advice would you give them as a GLP-1 user? And y'all, as you give your answer, would you remind everybody again what GLP-1 you are using and how long you've been in your journey?
I would just say don't give up. Don't give up at the first sign of a reaction or a side effect that you've heard about and say, oh no, I'm stopping. Your body's got to adjust. It's got to, you've got to adjust with it and change habits to where it works well. And, on my Mounjaro journey, that's what I've had to do. And, that first sign of diarrhea or constipation, I didn't like it either, but, I had to keep trudging on because after your body adjusts to it and is doing what it should be doing, things change for the better.
Right.
Mary, Trina, who wants to go next?
To piggyback off of Grant,
I think my advice would be, okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Trina. You're on.
To piggyback off of Grant, just don't think that the weight is gonna come off right then and there. Just keep going. I mean, find different ways that works for you to make it work. I'm on Mounjaro. I've been on Mounjaro for since January. I'm at 5 right now. Just keep going. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do it. I mean, you just gotta just keep going. Just keep in your mind that eventually it will come off. It's not going to be an overnight thing.
Thank you for reiterating that. Everyone's journey is going to look different. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Mary, what would you tell someone?
Yes, mine is basically the same. Don't give up, really keep an open mind. Your mindset is everything. My mindset was that I didn't want to die from a heart attack or a stroke or anything like that. So I have to do it just to better my health, my lifestyle, to be here for my son. So it's truly a mindset. It's a lifestyle change. It's not a fad diet or anything like that. This is just a tool to help you get through. But you have to make your mind up that you're going to, change your eating and just try and be, healthy, eat healthy, make better food choices. So yeah, that's my, just keep an open mind, and your mindset is everything when you're going through something like this. Mm-hmm.
I must step in there and echo what you just said, Mary. Mindset is everything. Mindset
Right.
is everything. And by the way, Mary's life journey with 2 YouTube channels, y'all. I love your merchandise. She's wearing her merch. MLJ, I love that. It looks really great.
And I think the only thing
y'all see the hat.
You want to share a little bit about the merch and who, I think I know who designed
Shout
that for
out
you.
to Nisha Antoinette. She made my channel merch for me.
Shout out to another friend. That
Yes,
many of us
Nisha
know.
Antoinette. She designed my channel merch for me.
It's popping. It's popping. It's popping. I'm. You're on the outfit. You're on the cute couch
And
tonight.
my bar scan is on the back. So if somebody's walking behind me, they can scan my shirt in the back and go straight to my channel.
Got it.
Okay.
Jen, would you tell us, what would you tell someone who is starting their GLP-1 journey this week?
This week, I think the primary thing is to focus on, from the moment you take the shot, focus on, what you're feeling, what you feel. Focus on, kind of do throughout the day, do like that mind, body, spirit check throughout. Notice any symptoms, your week, and really truly I shared one of those Post-it note apps on my phone with some family members and close friends to just kind of track what my week 1 was, like what I felt day 1, day 2, day 3, and make sure you're communicating that with your medical team. And I think it's just important that we kind of are mindful of sort of the physical side of this, because those of us who are doing this, because of the weight loss aspect of it, I think that is what becomes the goal. But it's important that we kind of pay attention to kind of what our body is feeling like. The one thing that I still feel, even on 7.5 after 37 weeks, I feel the medicine course through my body still. And I don't know that a lot of people feel that, but try to kind of be in tune with such a way with your body that you sort of, I call it the little, Zepbound dance, because I can literally feel it go through my body. And so you want to kind of get yourself in tune with your body to kind of understand what might be happening to you during this time, and make notes and then send them to your medical team so that the next time you talk to them, you can have those conversations.
Thank you to the panel for coming in tonight, y'all. We're just talking the real talk. We are hoping that by us sharing our transparency with our struggles with weight loss, we're all here for one reason, and that's because we're on the road to better health. And one of the things that is looming large in all of our lives is our weight. And so we're focusing, prioritizing weight loss as part of our health and wellness journeys. Y'all, thank you all for being here. Please join us if you have nothing else to do. And frankly, if you do have something else to do, y'all, if you want to hear more about Doses of Shaunie, her weight loss story, and how she has been able to lose over 85 pounds. And y'all, I thought she had been on that for like a year or 2. That is amazing. And so I'm curious to learn more, and I'm going to lean into that conversation with Paul Amadeus. Y'all help me. It's late in the evening. And my 50-year-old brain. Go ahead, Grant.
Paul Amadeus Lane.
Yeah.
Okay. If somebody wants to drop the link over there, I think that interview might already be in progress. If somebody wants to drop the link, I guess maybe I should have to drop it, right? I don't know. But anyway, we want to thank you all for joining us for this edition. This is our 3rd GLP-1 Real Talk panel, and y'all, we'll do this every Monday night. If you are on a GLP-1, if you're thinking about beginning a GLP-1, we want your voice. We want it. It's part of this panel. It will convene every Monday night. until we change directions. And I'm motivated, y'all, because I wanted to have a panel like this because I need to learn as I start my GLP-1 journey. So y'all, there is a link. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Do us this favor and go ahead and fill out that form, and I will connect with you over the week, y'all. It's a low effort live. You just come and share what you know. And we're putting all those stories, all those experiences together so that we can live better in 2026 and beyond. Am I forgetting anything? If anyone has something special coming up on their channel, any content that they want to share out, go ahead and do that now. And I'll try to work with Jen and see if we can get that link up if anyone wants to take the Sprinter van, the Joy Bus, over there to Paul Amadeus. Yeah.
I just put the link in the private chat there, Kendi, if you want to copy and paste it.
Thank you, Grant. Grant's got it covered. Anybody else have anything? Do you have any new content coming out on your channel? What are you working on? Anyone? If anyone in the chat has something they want to share with us that they are working on, thank you, Grant, for sharing that with us.
I'll have my Thursday. I think I've been going live around 4:05, somewhere in there, Central Time. So that's 5 Eastern Time. So I just do my weekly update, which covers everything that my channel is about. And sometimes there's a prioritization depending on the topic at hand. But I just do a weekly live on Thursday. And then, so always happy to have a good crowd to hear about what's going on in the world of Calamity Jane, so to speak.
All right, y'all, there's no time like the present. Anyone else? Low Carb Queen, Vicky's World, to moms, if you, either one of you, also our panelists, friends, if you all have anything you want to share out to the audience, and anyone who is on the stream, if you are a content creator and you have something that you want us to know about, please go ahead and feel free to drop that at this moment. And I'm trying to drop these links in each of the chats.
And I am on my channel right now. I am just basically posting all my spring content. So any spring vibes. Also dropped in the chat websites for journaling your meals. The one that I use is the first one that I put on there, myfitnesspal.com. You can download the app on your phone. Whatever you're eating, you can search it. Even if you're like at a restaurant, you can search your meal and it'll pop up. It'll tell you how many calories it is. So definitely that app has helped me greatly. But there are so many. Those are the websites that my weight loss clinic gave me that you can go to. So it was just several different choices. I just chose one and with it. Like I said, I need help to know what I'm eating. And so it helps me out greatly. So I don't know if anybody else struggle with that part, but that's my greatest struggle right there. So
absolutely,
it helps me greatly.
Absolutely, we do, and that's why we're here, friends. Y'all, let's depart from this place. If all hearts and minds are clear, y'all be in good health. We wish you good health and high protein and high fiber, low on the carbs. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.